Hi there, welcome to another video from Parker Adams Boat Sales. I'm Jonathan Parker and today we're here on the River Hamble at Deacon's Marina up in Swanwick, and we're here to show you this. This is a 1998 Fairline Targa 29. Now in 1998 this was the baby of the range of Fairlines, but this is also the peak period in build quality and finish, and the Targa 29 is no exception. So if you follow me through, what we're going to do is we're going to show you all the features and benefits this boat has to offer, from the generous cockpit area that you can see here, into the forward seating area, which also converts into a bed, through to the aft cabin and the generous heads, as you can see here. But for now, we're going to show you round the boat from back to front, starting with the bathing platform. And as you can see, the bathing platform on this small boat is very generous in size. The problem is with smaller boats is getting on and off the back as well as on the sides. But as you can see, because the bathing platform overhangs, it's actually very easy to get on and off the back, and also side access is good as well. There's an awful lot of boats where the access ends here and you have to climb over this bit. Because this sticks out, it makes side access very, very easy. And also, because it has a curve in it and it doesn't just jut straight out at an angle, it's very good for moorings like this one, because as you can see, the last part of this finger actually is at an angle, and it's very common this is, and which becomes a problem with stern to mooring with boats, but actually it works very well with this. There's a boarding ladder under here, and this is real teak over the back. It's quite damp today, so you can see that it's gone darker because of the damp. And we've actually had a spell of really bad weather, but today in November it's glorious today. It's really, really beautiful. As you can see, the boat is called Blue Tonic, and there's a transom shower as well, but also we've got these master covers fitted, and they're quite new. They've only been put on this last year, so all the covers all the way through are brand new, and it's also one of those things that over the years you have to replace every sort of 5 to 6 years. But as you can see, these are brand new in lovely condition. But as you step onto the boat, we come through into the cockpit area. Now, the Targa 29 was made for a number of years until the Targa 30 took over. But the Targa 29 actually gives you this very generous seating area into the back. And we've made it into a lounger, so you can lounge around on here. So in the summer months, you can sit here very nicely. But if you wanted to make it into a diner, it's very easy. All you need to do is remove the cover. Over we go. Pull out the table, which doubles as the base. With the lounger, find your pedestal. There it is. Flip this over, and now we've got your outside dining. And it's a very generous space as well. Now, the Targa 30 changed and adapted this ever so slightly. So now there's two fans of the Targa 29 and the Targa 30. Some prefer the 29, some prefer the 30. Now the 29 gives you this generous seating, as well as there's an L-shaped seating up there which we'll show you in a sec. The Targa 30 though, as a different option, gives you a small lounger on the back here. The floor's actually raised, and you have this curved seating, but it's slightly more forward. Because it's slightly more forward, it interferes with this forward L-shaped seating. So instead of having the two separate things permanently, the Targa 30 actually have a seat back here which folds forward and backwards, depending if you want to extend this seating area or use that seating area. You can't use them both at the same time. So the 29 is preferred for the cockpit space if you don't need this extra sunbathing area on the back. So they made the improvements, but in raising the floor, the Targa 30 actually gave you a bit more space in the rear cabin. Whether you need that or not on a boat of this size, it's up to you. You can make that decision. But personally, I do like this extra cockpit space that you get with this extra seating. It's much, much more sociable, especially when you have maybe over 6 people. They can all sit around here outside very comfortably. But you can see as well that the upholstery isn't original. It's been replaced. And we've got this nice light grey and then a slightly darker contrasting grey for the bolsters around, and for the finish, and the rope finish through there. So actually two contrasting colours, but actually makes it feel quite luxurious. And it's all in very nice condition throughout. The teak carries on through the cockpit area. There is actually a bit of access, so there's storage within here. And then we've got a few cup holders as well. And I might as well leave my shoes off, haven't I? Let's pop this back down. And then you can come up to this, obviously the second seating area. So here now, when you're going along, you can have probably 2 or 3 sat across here, joining the helmsman. So you can have 4 people all facing forward, and it is quite nice to sit here while the boat is going along, as well as you retain this outside space, like I said before, and more cup holders as well. There's more cup holders here, and there's 4 more up there, and then just a bit of storage. It's also quite nice having this grab handle. So the grab handle is for obviously going down the stairs, but it's also when you're sat here and it's getting a bit choppy, or you need something to hold on to, you've got a nice grab handle to do that with. And again, the covers are all very nice. They're actually designed so they can be rolled up individually. So if you just want to open up the front section, you don't have to take all the covers down. You can unzip this section and roll it up. The same as this one, you can roll it up as well separately. So there's a zip down the middle as well. So if you just want to roll one side up, you can. But as we go over to the helm seat, again, it's been finished. It's nice big. I like this. I really like the way this has been finished. So often when boats get reupholstered, they forget about the detail, but they've really done the detail on this. It's yeah, it's a really nicely finished seat. And also here, there's some upgrades. So first of all, the steering wheel. This isn't the original steering wheel. It would have been probably a wooden one that Fairline produced, but it's been modernised with this. And it does have a nice weighty feel to it. Also, the levers for the engines. Now, this would have originally come with Volvo levers, the black ones, and they look very dated now. Now, this has got Volvo Penta CAD 32 engines on stern drives. So the 4-cylinder diesel engines, which are supercharged and turbocharged. The engines have been kept in good condition. And also, because they're the 4-cylinder ones, they're very economical. So they'll be on duoprop still. So you've got 2 propellers for each stern drive. But because of that, and the way the engines are, and its brilliant Fairline Targa hull, it's probably one of the most efficient twin diesel engine boats you can have as well, with also this amount of accommodation. So all in all, it's a really nice setup. And the boat will still give you around 30 knots of speed, so your cruising will be around 20-25 knots, which is more than enough for a boat of this size. But the levers, as you can see, have been updated, but they've got a very nice feel about them, very light. There's no clunkiness to them, there's no stiffness to them. They're very light and easy to use, and they feel very nice. So when you're manoeuvring, it's very easy to pop them in and out of gear. And there's good visibility. There's 2 wiper arms, so we can have 2 wipers on here as well. And you've got all the dials to hand. The other thing as well, which is on most of the Targas, but not on all 30-foot sports boats, there's a bow thruster. So the bow thruster is a side power unit and works very well with this boat. So with the stern drive setup and the bow thruster, it's actually a very easy to handle boat as well. And we can see as well all the rocker switches have been replaced by now, normally of a boat of this age. Bearing in mind it's a 1998 boat, it's now 24 years old. Most of these rockers would have lost what picture it is, and people end up sticking stickers next to them to say what they are, but they've all been replaced on here. And the dash is very nice condition as well. It's not cracking or faded, it's all in nice shape. But this leads me to now this other upgrade, which is a new Simrad Chartplotter. So it's a small 7-inch screen, but really sunny day today. The sun's in my eyes, and normally if this was an older plot I could barely see it, but the contrast is brilliant, and it does show every detail on there. And being touch screen, you can zoom in much like your phone and zoom out. You can see exactly where we are, and we're here on the River Hamble up at Deacon's Marina up at Swanwick. So a very nice, easy, and nice positioned Chartplotter as well. It's not in your face, it doesn't obstruct your view. And then it leads to all the engine dials. So quite neatly, we've got the rev counters in the middle, and then we have for port engine and starboard engine, we have the voltage, oil pressure, temperature, and then the fuel tank levels. Now, the fuel tank is only one, it's shared, so the actual diesel fuel tank is this side, and this tank level is actually your fresh water level. So quite unusually, Fairline's probably one of the only ones that do it. The domestic water tank levels always seems to be amongst the dials for the engines. Most other boats are kind of down below or somewhere else, but Fairline always seem to put them in with the main dials. And again, on this one, that's perfectly true. So now then, let's pop ourselves down. So this has unusual step arrangement. So you've got to go down the right way. If you put your left leg in first, it all goes wrong. You've got to do right leg, left leg, right leg. And then it's nice and easy to come down into now. Actually, because it's November, you think it was cool, but it's quite warm in that cockpit area, but now the sun's out. But now we find ourselves into this very generous, and the Targa 29 and 30 are the same when it comes to this front area. It's a very large, and you probably see that I'm disappearing into the back of here now. And it's a very large, generous seating area. It's lovely and cool down here now. There's a nice light above, mirrors, and a table which you can adapt. So the table you can make smaller into a drinks table, or you can make it slightly larger, or you can have it full diner. And it's got a really nice light wood finish. Quite often the people had the choice of the light wood or the dark wood in these early Targas. A lot of people went for the dark wood because that was very fashionable at the time, and quite a lot of fewer people went for the light. But actually now we come round, there's a lot more light woods in modern boats than there are dark. So light wood's actually becoming more preferable on a lot of the earlier Fairline Princess Sunseeker models, and this is no exception. So it's got this lovely light wood. And also this can be converted into a large bed. So this is your first sleeping area as well. The table drops down, infill cushions go on. I would show you, but the owner hasn't got the infill cushions on board at this time. But you can imagine that this is quite a large, generous, because if I can even lie down on here, look, and even now, this is a very large, generous area. I just like how it's all finished. Nice curtains going across to make the area private, and then we'll go through to the galley area. Do you want to pop down? And we can see the galley area. First of all, there is a twin gas hob, which obviously, as you can see, can cover over to make more worktop space. Hot and cold water, of course, to the sink. There's quite a nice little storage, which I quite like, for putting plates and dishes in. All storage cupboards along here. For example, I'll show you the first one, so for cups. And there's a little bit of wood stuff falling out, which is quite handy. And then we have a gas oven as well, which is nice and clean. Doesn't look like it's been used too much. And then we have a fridge, again, which is in reasonably nice condition, with a small freezer compartment. Although it doesn't have a door, it's still a freezer compartment. And then storage in there, as well as access then to your electric panel. So everything you need to turn on and off is here. So you've got your 240 controls, all your 12-volt controls, even to the point of showing you how charged the battery is. And then obviously you can see we've got some 3-point plugs, a couple of USB, which is basically a 12-volt cigarette socket, which they're using as USB. This is for the television, so this is going for the television. So there's a TV point in there. So there is access to actually put a freestanding television on here. Some people actually mount one to the wall, but as you can see, it is set up for a television. And also we've got a diesel heater in here. So this was always hit or miss. This is quite a later one as well, so a later controller. So this might be a later fit as well, so a newer Eberspacher unit. And diesel heating, and the diesel does get blown into, I'll show you the cabins as we go through, but we can see one vent here going into the main saloon, and then I'll show you through then into the heads. So the head's quite generous as well for the size of boat. So it does have a shower, and the shower controls are down on the floor by the toilet there. So the sink, so the shower tray does drain down into a bilge, which then pumps out over the side. And then we're into the generous toilet area, which I can stand up in. So again, it's always a test. I'm 6 foot tall. If I can stand up in a toilet room, most people can. If you're 6'4", you're never going to stand up probably in any boat toilet room, so don't worry about it. But then we've got the sink as well, hot and cold water, of course, storage cupboards, bit of storage in there. But all in all, it's actually quite a generous room. Okay, I'm not going to sit in the toilet. The toilet is manual flush. It's a manual flush toilet. There's no holding tanks. It is a sea toilet, so we'll just go straight out to sea. But then we go through into the aft cabin. So the aft cabin, you have to forgive us because the aft cabin cushion isn't here. The owner's taking it away with some of the other cushions because we are sort of getting into winter mode now. So people tend to take any sort of cushions that can be removed off the boat just to air them and just stop any damp and anything getting on the boat. So these are removed at the moment. But I can show you through into what would be the aft cabin, and this is where you will see a difference between the 29 and the 30. The 30 has a bigger cabin with twin beds, so this area is a bit bigger, so it's a bit more usable for if you've got, say, 4 in the family. But if you've just got smaller children, adults can quite happily sleep here. I'm not saying it's just for children, it is for adults. But you do get a bit more space in the 30, but the 29, as you can see, I'll do the thing again. I'm 6 foot, and quite happily, at least 2 adults of stature will stay here. I mean, I used to have a 25-foot boat myself where I stayed in this sort of cabin, and it was a lot smaller than this. So this is very generous. Yeah, I don't want to downplay it, but it is a nice, generous aft cabin for a 29-foot boat, of anything. And there is a heating vent here as well for the diesel heating into the back. Okay, I think that's it. There's a bit of storage down the end. I don't know if you've had a look down there. There's a bit of storage down the end, obviously a window above and curtains so you can shut it off. We've also got a wardrobe. I don't know what's in there, I haven't looked yet. Yeah, with hanging, so it does have a full hanging space in there. There's a bit of storage under here as well, so they're trying to cram it in where they can, so you can have under storage and storage on top. And then again, curtains as well going across. And there is actually also a full length mirror on the wall here as well. Right, let's have a look, go back up. Again, left, right, left. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump up on the side. So when you get up on the side of here, the side cover comes off by just unclipping a few. This is designed as well, you can roll it up the side to here, and you see these clips will go on. But just for quickness, I'm just going to tuck it in. But just to show you that there is a little step here, so when you do want to go up on the side deck, there's step, there's a handle, and then step onto the side. So you get quite good side access. Always bear in mind it's a 29-foot boat, so it's never going to be massive, but as that side access goes, you can get up onto the side decks. And of course, there is always the option of a bow cushion. This boat isn't fitted with it, but it is designed for that because it's got the cup holders and the shape cut out to make this into a bow cushion, so it can easily be designed and to put on there. And then we're up to the anchor. The anchor itself can be controlled at the helm, but the windlass can also be controlled by 2 buttons here. So you can see down and then up. They are foot operated as well, so you can put your feet on them or just press them with your finger. And then obviously you've got the anchor locker where all the chain is stored, and the chain looks in nice condition as well. Quite often when boats get to this sort of age, they're in need of replacement if they haven't been done already. Looks like it's been replaced. It is in nice shape. And also all the bow rails are nice and high, the cleats are nice shape, but also we've got these fender holders. So there's 3 either side, and very useful. So we don't have to walk the fenders up and down, we can just pop them in here when we're ready to go. And it just gives you more of an idea of the quality and condition of the boat. Again, all the covers are new, so this all just looks in lovely shape. There are no real downsides to the 29-foot Targa. And then coming back off, again, nice and easy. And you can as well get on and off the side. So quite often, as you get into bigger boats, or they can make quite difficult, it's hard to get on and off the side, but actually you can step on straight on the side as well, and then get up the side deck, so you don't have to go through there. But all in all, the Targa 29, it's a very generous space. It's in lovely condition, but please bear in mind the upgrades it's had. So the upholstery, the navigation, even the bow thruster doesn't have original controls, so that's been upgraded. And also there's an upgraded Fusion head unit down here as well, down below. So we've got, which you can have Bluetooth to it as well. And in general, this has got a very, very nice feel. So if you're after a Fairline Targa 29, I think you're going to find it hard to beat this one. So I think that's about it for this one. So if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel. Come and see other videos we've done. We've done around 150 videos now. So there's lots of all sorts of types of boats, from Targa 30s, which we've done, to 34s, to 40s, to all sorts of different makes and models of boats. So please come and see us at Parker Adams Boat Sales on YouTube. Come to our website, parker-adams.co.uk, if you want to see how much this boat is and more details of it. Please get in contact with us. But I think for now we'll say goodbye. So goodbye for now, and see you on the next one.